problem you will ever face in business has already been solved by somebody else. You know, I did learn one thing in art school. Picasso said, good artists copy and great artists steal. Copy, steal. You want to be $1 million company, $1 billion company. Maybe you're not motivated by money. That's fine. Give it away. But be motivated by something. And people should know what you're motivated by. Look at all these people creating these apps in Silicon Valley and all over the world. It's such an exciting time because the barriers to be involved and do something are less and less. You all have less excuses now not to do absolutely what you're passionate about. And that's what I love about technology. It enables everybody else to take part, and you don't have to be a geek anymore to do some of this stuff. So I looked around, I got to make a house call, I got to get rid of this mountain bike, I'm getting run over on the freeway. I looked around, what do the big companies do? I mean, I want to be around in 50 years, so who's been around a long time? Well, I look at FedEx. Now, what did FedEx do? This is not what they always called. They used to be called Federal Express. More syllables. They tweeted their logo. They can figure out how to embed, oh, see, this is Apple. You're so genius. You know, when people have their, I love it, thank you. You know, when people have those embarrassing pop-ups in Outlook during a presentation, like, you know, it's like your spouse going, I'm so angry at you. I just had a reminder pop up on here. They blank the screen. That's the details I'm talking about. Now, you're all users of technology, so I know you have an opinion on that. Who the hell designed this piece of crap? You don't have to be an expert to know. See, this is what I mean. Somebody just said the other day, call your own customer service number. I go, by the way, we're not perfect. At Best Buy, oh my God, we have so much to do. I know we don't even answer the damn phone at Best Buy. I'm working on it. That's why I'm still there. When I first went into Best Buy in 2000, you know, they gave me an assistant. I never had an assistant before. It took me a while to get used to having somebody else help me. After a while, I'm trying to teach them a few tips and tricks in Outlook to help save time. I wasn't trying to spoon feed them in terms of technology. But, and there just was a lot of engagement, not a lot of receptiveness. You know, and I said, hey, I'm trying to help save you some time here. I mean, if it's not helping you, do it whatever way you want, but I don't feel like we're connecting here. So what's going on? She's like, well, why are you here? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you don't have to be here anymore, do you? We already sold the company. I'm like, oh, no. That's not, but I want to be here. She's like, well, this place is so screwed up. How many people think your companies are screwed up? That means there's something to do. Yes, Best Buy is screwed up. They're not perfect. That's why I'm there. If they were running perfectly, that's why I didn't go to Best Buy in 1997. They had less than 100 stores then. So they have now over 1,200 in the U.S., in Shanghai, and all over Europe and stuff like that. But that's why I'm there. Same reason I left art school, because there wasn't anything to contribute. So that's what a big billion-dollar company, and that's what UPS does. Now FedEx tweeted their logo. They took out a few syllables, cut out a bunch of characters. UPS went even farther. This is genius. As far as I can tell, they're trying to trademark a color. What's their motto?
What can brown do for you?
Every one of your, not just every one of your customers, not every one of your employees, even people who've never used your services before should know your motto. If you don't have one, get one. I've got one. It's cura et creditas. It's Latin. You know why it's Latin? Because I looked at a bunch of institutions that have been around for like 500 years, have all Latin writing on the back of the seals. I'm like, I gotta have one too. I went on the interwebs, found a professor of Latin in Oxford, $19 in PayPal, sent me an MP3 file. I said, I want to say accuracy and speed. In Latin, and accuracy comes first. And the word and is important. Both. So I got a little MP3 file. He's like, and he gave me 3 pages of the pre-Roman correct pronunciation. $19. Cura et creditas. You want to be $1 billion company? act like one. UPS is amazing. What can brown do for you? The trucks are brown, packages are brown, uniforms are brown, horses are brown. That's brand consistency. Nothing what I just talked about is the realm of $1 billion or public and private company. Any of us can do it. Only one problem. I don't need a truck this big. I don't haul a lot of stuff. I'm really selling my time, my intellectual ability to solve problems. So I can use a smaller car. There's still one car, though, from my childhood. It defined branding, excitement. Yes. I just tweeted this week, somebody sent me a link, a company in Pennsylvania, $150,000. You get a modern fiberglass, nice Chevy 350 engine, LED headlights, actual flamethrower out the back. I asked my wife, I showed her my iPad, I said, can I have this? She's like, no. The kids are school in it. So, listen, it's great to borrow ideas and steal ideas, but if you're going to steal, I mean, I think what Picasso meant is that if you look in your own industry, it's like bathing in your own bathwater. You're less likely to differentiate yourself. Steal from other ideas. I took flat rate pricing from Rapid Auto Change. Right? We used to be hourly charges. Remember when cell phones were like about a minute, you buy minutes or whatever? And now it's just, we like these flat rate plans. So wherever you look, the key is to look elsewhere. I steal more of my ideas from restaurants and hotels because I'm really in the hospitality industry. I don't make the technology. Best Buy sells it, but I'm really delivering a service. That led me to this. It's a 1958 Simca Arande. Not even went out of business in 1970. This is 1958. It was a Chrysler import. Simca is an acronym for some French thing outside the suburb of Paris. But it was this color, and I saw it. It's $2,200. Creativity. You really search far enough field, you actually pay less than you'll pay market rates. Hire an advertising firm to find you the vehicle, you can spend $1 million. $2,200 runs like a pussycat. A French pussycat. Typical of the French culture, 7 ashtrays, no seatbelts. Now, my car is this color, because that's the color it was. There's an old saying, be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. Every day, each of you individually, and as companies, as teams, doors of opportunity are there all the time. You're always that far away from the next great thing. I believe that. And so it gives you a little patience to know that another door will open up, persistence. And so it was inevitable that I was going to be led to this. That if I'd stopped at those first set of minivans, and the world really doesn't need another minivan. And when I drive through the town here, everybody knows, right? People used to say, God, I see your cars everywhere. I only have one. Baby, if you can be in one place at a time, that's magic. So I used to actually experiment, because, you know, again, when your vehicle is the only advertising you have, you drive up and down the freeway, it's a little math problem here on 494 I discovered, right here. You don't drive about 7 over, right? That'll stay with the traffic, you won't get a ticket. You go over 7, you know you're pretty much on your own. So in a 10-mile stretch between here and St. Paul, you live with the same pack of cars. You're only getting that much ad exposure. You slow down to 57 miles an hour. 10 times the number of vehicles that pass you by. It's simple mathematics. When you have no money and you have lots of free time in between house calls, and I would never let anybody see me idle. Even at stoplights, I'd always act like I was on my way to a house call. I was watching Kojak late at night. I'm watching Kojak, and he's an old 70s detective dude on Nick at Night, TV Land. And it was funny because every time he pulled in around a corner, his car would go, even 3 miles an hour. So I called up a friend and I said, how do I do that? He's like, let the air out of your front tires about 10%, and they'll squeal a lot more. Now I want you to be able to hear me before you can see me. There goes the Geek Squad. This is details. Oh, I'm going to tell you one last story. So then I was like, okay, now if I know people will notice the vehicle, it doesn't really say what we do, so they have to call 411 and find out. It worked so well. A long time ago, about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, there was a competitor in town. They were called All Systems Go. They're long gone now. And their motto, though, was, we heard you need a nerd. People would call 411. I'd be like, how'd you find out about us? I called 411. I saw your billboard. I don't have any billboards. That's too expensive. I saw your billboard. It says something about a nerd, so I called 411. I called the Quest operator, and I said, I'm looking for those nerds. She goes, oh, you mean the Geek Squad? So it does matter. It does play itself out in business. But there's other reasons why it's important, too. So I started going, God, who's my market? You're supposed to define your market, blah, blah, blah. Who's my market? Anybody who owns or uses a computer. That's pretty much everybody. So if you could choose who your customers were, who would you pick? Rich people. Where do rich people go? The opera. I've never been there. The opera. Minnesota Orchestra Hall. Call them up. What time does the opera get out? 9:05, sir. Great. I'll be doing laps around Orchestra Hall. Sure enough, start getting phone calls from North Oaks, Kenwood, Lake Minnetonka. You know? So one night I'm parked out in front of Orchestra Hall, and you know what's across the street is WCCF. There's the back of Don Shelby's head. All of a sudden my phone rings. Dude, you're on TV. Back up your car about 2 feet. So the next day I went to Best Buy and bought me one of those little 2-inch TVs. And then the dance began between the cameraman and I. Like those annoying people in the background of the Today Show. Because, you know, the weatherman does the other angle, so I back up on Nicollet to hold up the buses, you know. We do Don Shelby's computers now, by the way. Once you do this, then it, like, you know, well, for a while it became Geek Squad Antique Auto Repair. And then the problem was visually they're not united. And remember, I mean, it's funny to be creative, but somehow you do have to scale, you have to be mature, you have to be consistent. So my problem was, they're not consistent. And then I was watching Andy Griffith on TV Land again late at night in between house calls. Sure enough, there's my solution. When you know what you're looking for, you have a much higher likelihood of finding it. And I was looking for a visually consistent theme to apply to the vehicles while keeping them unique, giving me the flexibility to buy different cars and have them stand out. My original vision was to have every agent pick their own car, like they would tune it up and we'd be like a gang, roaming the city. A wimpy gang, but a gang. Actually, one night, Old Colony gas station in North Minneapolis, right near one of our first offices. It was like 2 in the morning. Actually, it was like at the bar or something like that. I was pumping gas. All of a sudden, 4 Hells Angels roll up. It's like 2 in the morning, and I'm standing there, my clip-on tie, my white shirt. Because the Hells Angels headquarters is in North Minneapolis. One of them walks over. Ching, ching. You're the Geek Squad, ain't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, so I got a question. I got to do movie. And I'm having trouble because the video's not coming up on my other monitor. And I was like, just reinstall the drivers, and if that doesn't work, we have to make a house call. He's like, Geek Squad, you guys are all right in that. So I feel pretty safe now because I'm not going to tell you whether or not we do their computers, but let's just say I can have you